Last episode, we were just one game away from Masters with only 24 hours left until we have to vacate the Airbnb and travel back home. We've been playing for over 12 hours at this point, hoping to just secure the Masters and wrap up the series so I could have an extra day to relax and enjoy Korea, but we ended up losing the game due to this Udia who just straight up stopped playing. He griefed us, and that's exactly where we start off in today's video, right after we got griefed. With 13 hours in, we're currently at Diamond 1, 66 LP, and I figured instead of playing Braum again and allowing our team to dictate what happens and when, we take charge by playing the double jungle. Anyway, straight into it, we've just invaded. The Elise made the call to start on the enemy Raptors, which in turn results in me crossing over to our Raptors. For whatever reason, the Elise decided to leave the enemy red side and head over to start on her blue buff. She then gets upset at us that we're starting on the Raptor camp, even though there was literally no time for us to swap to any other camp. Obviously, I would have started on the enemy side if she had not pinged that she wanted to start there. In the grand scheme of things, Elise's choice ended up costing both her and myself one camp each, which definitely sets us back. And even worse than that, she ends up getting tilted purely from a choice that she made herself. Despite this, both junglers on our side are ahead of the Shaco. We outnumber him in camps, and I decide to go for a top dive. Even though we do end up getting a kill in the top lane, it ends up being a net negative. Not only did Jinx die under the tower, Rakan had also previously gotten a kill onto our Sylas when we traded in the top lane, so it was a 2-for-1 in the enemy's favor. So far, our top lane is mega ahead. He's gotten 2 successful ganks, our mid lane's behind, and so is our ADC. We go to the mid lane, trying to turn the odds, and we do get a successful kill onto the enemy Akali. This puts Sylas on even ground, so now top and mid are both ahead. Once again, Elise has made a mistake. She's gone to try and gank the losing lane. Now, Shaco gets an extra kill, and he's starting to snowball. Knowing that Shaco was last seen on the bottom of the map, I go to the Void Links to secure our first objective. To my surprise, our team doesn't collapse on the Shaco, so I attempt to try and fling the last remaining Void Grub over to the Elise. It was a bit of a Hail Mary, if I'm being honest with you. I end up handing over a kill to the Shaco myself. I still think it would have been much better if Elise came, secured a kill on Shaco and the objective. Fortunately, once we respawned, we picked up that Drake. While this is happening, the top lane is getting clobbered by the fed Shaco, so our lead there, it's gone, which means we need to find someone else to carry this game, and I'm thinking ultimate plus Jinx equals a kill. Maybe that play would have gone a little better if I was using AI. Thankfully, today's sponsor, Polybuzz, is just that. One of the top AI companion apps with over 10 million downloads, which already shows you just how good it is. Whether you're just bored, looking for companionship, or maybe you need someone to bounce ideas off, they are the perfect choice. With Polybuzz, you can chat with thousands of real and fictional characters, including Greek philosophers, billionaires, or maybe your favorite celebrities in real time. I personally take advice from the big man himself, Sun Tzu, on whether or not I should grind League or simply get good in real life. Imagine having conversations or getting advice from your favorite characters or historical figures such as Gandhi, Jesse Pinkman, or even Faker himself. If that's not really your thing, you can get advice from your main champion, see what kind of strategies they can come up with. The possibilities are truly endless. You can even create your own personal character with a unique personality, background, and voice, with the only limiting factor being your own imagination. Download and try Polybuzz for free using the link in the description, and make sure to use code ELLA22 for a special reward. Turns out I was incorrect. The Aphelios, he can 1v2 us. We do, however, have all of Aphelios' summoner spells down. We don't really want to rely on the top lane or the Silas, so the only real potential to carry this game is this Jinx, so repeat ganking this lane makes the most sense. This time, our gank pays off. The gold, it gets onto the Jinx, and now we're looking to push forward to collect some tower platings. We do, however, know the Shaco's coming, so I place a control ward, hoping to bait him in. Annoyingly, the Shaco showed up a bit quicker than we were expecting. He catches us off guard, and that's enough to kill the Jinx. I flee towards the blue, waiting for Shaco to try and pick it up. He is spotted, and I'm searching for him. While I'm sitting here waiting, I notice our team chat, it's starting to pop off. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but anyone typing this much means they're not farming, and things aren't looking good. We get the shutdown on Shaco, then rotate into the objective. Now we're on a roll. Evidently, I wasn't too thrilled with them surrendering because I think we had a lot of fight left in us. That's 2 losses in a row where we could have potentially won, but our team just gives up. It's very frustrating, and I did the cardinal sin of queuing straight back up after a loss. We've been playing over 12 hours now, plus I'm definitely a bit tilted from the last 2 games. I shouldn't have queued up, but in my mind, I was still playing somewhat decent. The last 2 losses, not necessarily my fault. So this was my original plan. I was going to go under the tower, killing myself, which would then give the gold over to Rel rather than Skarner. But given the fact that our jungler kept coming forward, clearly indicating that he's going to flash onto the Rel, I stick around trying to help. Instead, we both hand over gold, and I noticed when I checked the stats, he didn't even have flash, which means he's clearly just a bad jungler. And if you don't really understand how that makes him bad, it means that he had no kill potential, only risking his death instead of catching up and farming, which everything just tells me he doesn't know what he's doing. It does take the perfect storm for me to actually tilt, and this game got me very, very close. The combination of what was happening, plus the fact that I don't even have the right runes, and the other 2 games that have happened prior to this, and a time crunch, yeah, all these things combining together are getting to me, which is a rare sight. But yeah, I guess we all do make mistakes, and in this one, the biggest mistake really was queuing back up after those 2 losses. I should have just gone to sleep. The warning pops up that we've been playing for far too long. At this point, we're 13 minutes into the game. I haven't seen a single player on this team that could potentially carry this. Not only that, but you've got the top lane begging for a 15 forfeit. Same with the jungle. I mean, kind of hopeless. I know I rarely forfeit on this channel, but this seemed like a game that was worthy of that yes vote. The scoreline's 23-6, and we've participated in 4 of those kills, which means, yeah, not much chance that we were coming back from this one. Honestly, just happy to get out. Even more so, glad we got to get some sleep. Bright and early the next day, we pick Sion support to complement the Caitlyn ADC pick. It's a very strong combo. Immediately, the enemy Singe is caught invading our jungle. He ends up burning both of his summoner spells and runs away. Our team leaves him, but I continue to chase as I have a hunch that most players are quite lazy. My hunch paid off. We get first blood, but it doesn't help that much because there was no time to spend it. So we've just come to lane with the 400 gold. And we also don't have any summoner spells. The enemy bot laners, they know this. They push forward and take full advantage of that. Even though we die, I still think it benefited our team more, at least in the short term, that is. Now that I've gone to base, I can spend the first blood gold and come to lane with a significant advantage, whereas the assist that the Thresh got, it's not going to buy him anything, which makes this Cassante invade very smart because we have the edge in the bot lane. The lane, it resets and we are definitely in the driving seat now. Enemy bot lane has no more summoner spells. We are Sion support with a long range poke Caitlyn. It's our time to start abusing them as much as possible. 3 minutes later, nothing has happened in our lane, but there's a fight breaking out in the river, and we still have lane priority. Caitlyn and I use this priority to hide in the brush and engage onto the Thresh once they try to help. I'm not sure what happened from this point on, but the Thresh's gameplay got very sloppy and we took advantage of it every single chance we got, getting multiple kills onto our Caitlyn and the LeBlanc. Very soon, both of them were incredibly fed. There was also a glaring issue with the enemy's team comp. It sucked. Trendemir mid wasn't playing out. He had to start split pushing, and we were also taking advantage of that. 6 minutes later, we're in the process of trying to get our third Drake of the game when the Thresh is once again out of position and starts the biggest team fight we've seen of the game so far. For the next couple of minutes, our team continued to dominate the enemy. Every single trade that we took seemingly was a positive one for us. We kept extending our lead, so it's no surprise once we saw this Thresh and he looked like he was in a compromising position, we ended up taking that fight, assuming we could kill him and rotate into the Baron, but that plan got put on hold as soon as that Trendemir managed to jump the wall and catch our ADC off guard. The game state almost immediately completely changed. From what seemed like a guaranteed victory now puts us in this position where our team, the winning one, has been aced and the enemy has the opportunity to take the Baron for free. Of course, this would not be Korea without them immediately throwing up the surrender vote, even though we're still clearly in the lead. Yes, they have the Baron buff, but their team comp is still kind of crap. We take advantage of that by picking off the Singe, and then the Thresh does his special move, aka being caught out of position, and then mere seconds later, the Jax also manages to kill the Trendemir in the split push. Now, all of a sudden, our team has priority once again. We're pushing through their base, even though they have the Baron buff. It's about that time in this video, 14 minutes, where I remind you to leave a comment, like the video. It helps a lot. I didn't ask in the last two, and it showed. So if you're enjoying the video, make sure you help me out. A few minutes in the future, we've found this Thresh on our side of the map. I mean, if anything, you can't say this Thresh wasn't consistent. Consistently in the wrong spot at the wrong time. But hey, I'm not complaining. This opened the path for us to get this victory. Thanks to him, we are no longer on a losing spree because the enemy team couldn't hold us 3. We were able to easily destroy the last remaining towers and then the Nexus, gaining us 20 LP, starting today off with a win. In game number 4, we're playing your favorite double jungle Sion, starting off with invading for vision, or really any information that can help us. Given the fact that there were multiple people sitting in the blue side, I know all of it's warded. We've also got our Graves still at the enemy blue side, plus I've not seen the enemy Warwick, which leads me to think they are starting on our blue. This theory is proven true once we see the Cogmore, so I'm trying to not walk straight in. I want Warwick to get it lower, but I was not expecting Lissandra to be there. Sivir does an amazing job at 2v1ing the enemy. We've now taken all their summoner spells, but she unfortunately does get caught by the Warwick on the way out. Even though this isn't ideal for the Sivir, it's not the worst, and it also tells us that she's a good player. We're in a very awkward spot. The best option for me is to race to this red and try to contest it. I immediately proc my W, assuming I was going to flash this wall. I then think I can path around to steal it, but he pulls it into the fog of war. If I had just taken a different path, gone to the right, this situation would have been avoided completely. But as a result, I die again, and I consider it a critical error, so I sold the jungle item and came to the bot lane. I don't really want to punish the Sivir. I've already seen him commit to the play, so I know he's good. And that's why I decided to come to the bot lane. Somehow, this match came down to Lissandra versus me. You'd think it would come down to the jungles, but it really didn't. After killing the Lissandra earlier in the mid lane, she went back for another gank, and we saw this happening and punished the Cogmore because of it. And from there, our team started to slowly claw our way back into this game. Fast forwarding 5 minutes into the future, the scores, they're almost even. It can go any way at this point. This is the first team fight that we took. Even though it was a very close team fight, we very quickly came to the realization that every single time we take a fight, the enemy team slightly profits more than us, and they built a gap doing this over and over. It's now 30 minutes into the game. Every single team fight we've taken keeps going in the enemy's favor. Akali spots a window though. She's teleported behind the Ahri, the same Ahri who just ulted in the mid lane. That's enough to take her out. I guarantee her ultimate was almost back up. Just because she's the biggest threat doesn't mean she was the only one. One by one, the enemy start trickling in, attempting to kill us. I guess they were winning every single team fight and potentially just got overconfident. Either way, we took full advantage of it. After winning back-to-back team fights, we end up pushing to the top lane and opening a second inhibitor. We then reset and we're doing our final push to get the third inhibitor and potentially the win. Everything kind of came crumbling down for the enemy team, and it happened very quickly. After that Ahri got caught in the top lane and opened up the Baron for us, they kept trying to force the same type of messy team fights, but they just weren't happening anymore. Our team comp scaled in, and we ended up winning this game. They were ahead by so much, and there was just such a drastic change in such a small amount of time. Anyway, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. The next video is going to be live tomorrow. Drop a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys then.
Y'all ain't on this level, bitches, Tilterella. Y'all can never beat them like an acapella. If you wanna laugh or cry, had like any time, then click the red sign and go and subscribe.